I have to catch my breath. I'm so honored and proud to be here tonight. I just would like to start with that. Thank you, Jared and Carla, for the kind words. I'm honored to have you both here tonight to participate in this important event. Carla, you've been a wonderful inspiration, business mentor to me, and have truly taught me the value of connections and relationships in this business. Thank you for your participation tonight. Because of that, I have worked hard to build relationships with many of you in this room. And I'm grateful that you are all here tonight. My theme this year is a strategic vision for the future. There are over 10,000 licensees in Santa Clara County. But why is it that 10% of the realtors are selling 80% of the homes? What would happen if that were to change someday? Every year, we watch our private property rights erode across the state and across the county. Home ownership is increasingly more and more difficult to attain. And why do we continue to sit by and watch this happen? What can we do about it? I'd like to touch upon some of these issues a little more later. But first, let me start out by saying good evening and thank you. My name's Sandy Jamison, and I'm so honored to be installed as your president tonight. Before I start into my strategic vision for the future, I'd like to start out with some gratitudes. My first gratitude has to go out to John Reeves. John, you are the one that taught me about gratitude, so it's only fitting that I start with you. I get emotional, so I'm sorry. John, thank you for being here tonight and for flying all the way up from San Diego. Thank you for guiding Bob and I through a business transformation over the past year. You have been an inspiration to me, and I will continue to aspire to achieve to your level someday. You are such an amazing person, and you have certainly changed my life. This year, our team is targeting to sell 200 homes in 2020, which is only half of what you achieve year over year. Thank you for pushing me to reach farther, to expect more of myself, and for setting the bar high. Thank you. Now thank you, John. Now before I get into a list of some more gratitudes that I have, I'd like to first invite Gustavo Gonzalez. Please, Gustavo, come to the stage. I have some tokens of appreciation for you. Gustavo, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your charisma and your passion. Thank you for your dedication, your commitment, and for leading us in 2019. I look forward to continuing to serve with you on the board. And I would like to give you a couple of gifts from the Realtor Familia. First is your gavel. Next, I'd like to give you this scrapbook of your year. And lastly, here's a little bit token of appreciation. Let's go back to the beginning. I have a few more folks I'd like to give some recognition to. And first, let me start with my mother. Mother, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for bringing me into this world and for putting up with me as a teenager. I know I wasn't always easy. Thank you for teaching me to be independent, hardworking, and for not spoiling me when I was growing up. I learned I have to work really hard for the things I want in life. And you were a role model as a woman business owner, which inspired me to go into business myself. Thank you. Dad, thank you, you're next. To my father, Dale, thank you for flying all the way out from South Dakota tonight to be here. I know it's a long and expensive trek for you, but I know that you would not miss it. When I look back, you were always there at every important milestone. I knew I could always turn to you for help and that you would always be there when I needed you. So thank you. To my older sister, Carrie, my only sister, wherever you are, I hope you have a warm bed and a warm meal tonight, and that you're not sleeping on the hard, wet, cold ground outside the homeless shelter, as you have been for the last 2 years. For those of you who don't know, my sister suffers from mental illness, and she's been homeless for quite some time. For this reason, we are proud to support a local charity called Family Supportive Housing. It's a local homeless shelter in San Jose. They support families in need. And for every referral that I get and that my team gets, we set aside a portion of our proceeds, and we donate that to Family Supportive Housing throughout the year. And I am grateful. I'm grateful their BOD members, Leanne Burton and Amy Van Zant, are here this evening to celebrate with us. Thank you. I'd also like to thank my stepfather, Grape. Grape, thank you for being here. Thank you for buying me a gun when I was 21, teaching me how to stick up for myself the real way. For those of you who don't know, we share a common hobby of shooting and gun collecting, which is another one of my side hobbies that you may not know. I also want to thank my Aunt Rosemary, Uncle Bill, Aunt Carla, Uncle Jeff for being here tonight and making the evening special. Thank you. And Jet, my son over there, my 9-year-old, the handsome little guy. I'm so proud to watch him grow up into a handsome young man. His intelligence and critical thinking skills are impressive. And no matter how old you grow up to be, remember, I keep telling you, you will always be my baby. So I'm happy you're here tonight, and maybe someday you'll be a realtor and you can take over the family business. 2040, president, right? Yeah. I also have a little 4-year-old named Austin. He's not here tonight, but I thank him for his dominant spirit and his determined personality, which I assume takes after me, because he continues to challenge me every single day. He's driven, independent, and confident, and for that reason, he's had to stay home tonight. But I'll see him later. And I want to thank my team, the Jamison team over there. Make some noise over there, Jamison team. I want to thank Ginger, Janan, Jerry, Christina, Fred, Miriam, Jose, and Lori for being here tonight. And for those on my team that couldn't make it tonight, Jesus, Barbara, Rodney, Renard, Marvin, and Carr. Thank you all for being a part of our success, and I look forward to a great year in 2020. Now, as we all know, every successful realtor has a number of affiliate partners that they work with that make them successful. I consider the affiliates part of my extended team. I want to give recognition to a few of my affiliates out there, starting with Carla Howard at Prominent Escrow, and First American for the many years of service. Tina Bright, Maxim Interiors. She couldn't make it tonight. VR Squad for all their photography services. Carol Smith, Biz to Biz, Wall-to-Wall Inspections. They're my go-to partners, and our success is a sign of their success. And thank you to all the affiliates out there tonight. You make the Realtors successful, and we count on you, and we couldn't do this job without you. Thank you. I also want to give some special appreciation to the SCORE staff for all you do for the Realtor community and for working tirelessly to support our needs and manage all the volunteers. Thank you. And to all the AEs, the account execs out there, you know who you are. And especially to Neil Collins. Where are you, Neil? Back there. I want to commend you. I want to commend you for your continued tolerance of all of our crazy ideas, our difficult personalities, our changing agendas, our political maneuvering, and for putting up with a new president every single year. It takes a special kind of person to be able to manage that year over year. Thank you in advance for your support and for putting up with me this coming year. I believe we will achieve some great things this year. Thank you. There is one particular SCORE staff person that I have to give a special thank you to. This person is responsible for getting me involved in SCORE many, many years ago. This is the person who introduced me to Neil and to several other staff members at SCORE. She invited me to join my very first committee. This person cannot be here tonight, but I want everyone to know she's not forgotten. Her name is Ellen Santamaro. If you knew Ellen, you know why she's not here tonight, but I believe she is still here in spirit. And to all the other SCORE staff that we've lost over the years, Allison, Brenda, Julie, they are not forgotten either, and I appreciate all that they gave to the Realtors over the years. So, I'd also like to take a moment to thank Joe Brown. Is Joe Brown here tonight? No. Where are you, Joe? Did you know Joe Brown was my first broker? He was working for Coldwell Banker back then, and I was so excited when Joe hired me when I first got my license in real estate. I thought I must have interviewed really, really well because Coldwell Banker was willing to take me on. It felt really special. Back then, I still remember the time I was working my very first client, a buyer. His name was Brad. And my car overheated while I was driving around showing him houses. Basically broke down. I was so embarrassed, but he still bought a house from me. That year, I learned quickly to not drive like a maniac, keep your car washed, and as I look back, I'm really glad that I don't have to read a Barclay map book in my lap anymore. Barclay. Speaking of Coldwell Banker, let's hear it for Coldwell Banker tonight. Coldwell Banker is our largest sponsor tonight. By their generous contribution, they have made this event possible tonight. Let's give them a huge round of applause. Not only was Coldwell Banker my first broker, but they are the brokerage for 5 of our board members. They have groomed some great leaders out there. Thank you for being here tonight. I'd also like to give some special thanks to all the rest of our sponsors tonight, starting with Sereno Group. Sereno out there? Sereno is our centerpiece sponsor tonight. So you're probably all wondering who gets to take home the centerpiece tonight. Well, let's say if your birthday is closest to June 2nd, you get to take it home. That's my birthday. So you can figure it out. I also want to give a special mention to our wine host this evening. Did everyone like the wines tonight? Good. Lightpost Winery is a brand new boutique winery. They just opened up this past August in Morgan Hill, right off of 101 in Cochrane. It's owned by John and Sophia, and they have generously donated the wine this evening. So I want to give them a huge thank you for their donation and support to the Realtors this evening. If you're down in Morgan Hill, be sure to stop by their winery, check them out. It's a very nice venue, lovely, and it's kid-friendly. It's called Lightpost Winery, so thank you. Doug Goss, thank you tonight for your generous sponsor. And to the KW Bay Area Estates team. I also want to give a quick shout out to Mary West, Kevin Cole from Compass, Wall to Wall, Mitch Felix of Real Producers, Tina Bright of Maxim Interiors, CRMLS, Steve Bonafide from Compass, Cross Country Mortgage, and Gurinder at Postnet for all of their contributions that made tonight possible. And to our corporate sponsors, Citibank, Bank of America, Home Guard, Wells Fargo, and Old Republic. Thank you for sponsoring us in 2020. I want to take a moment to recognize a few of our outgoing board members. Helen Chong, Tricia Motter, Jean Hunt, Teresa Francis, and Mark Von Kanel. We'll be losing some incredibly smart and talented board members. They will be missed. But I'd also like to welcome our new board members, Elizabeth Monley, Jennifer Beeler, John Scaglione, Derek Essery, and Craig Constantino. Welcome to the board. I look forward to serving with you this year. We're going to have some fun. And to my executive officer team, Doug Goss, Stephen Thayard, and Lisa. Let's rock it. It's like the dream team. I can't wait to see you guys up here as president in the next few years. And I want to recognize all the past presidents in the room, the neighboring association presidents, the president-elects, the volunteers, and the committee chairs this evening. Thank you for your continued support and for driving the industry forward. I could keep going on and on with thank yous and gratitudes tonight because there are many. But before I get into my strategic plan for 2020, I have to take a moment and thank the number one person in my life, my husband, Bob. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Bob. Bob has been my best friend and my companion for 22 years. He's been putting up with me that long. We've been married for 17 of those years, and the reason I am successful, and the reason I'm here tonight, and the reason I can give any of my time to SCORE is because of Bob's constant support behind the scenes. If there is anyone that should receive the most gratitude tonight, that has to be Bob. He's a super dad. He runs the household while I'm out. He works nonstop behind the scenes, and he never asks for the spotlight. He's out there juggling 2 boys, along with our homestead, our property, our 9 agents on our team, our 5 assistants, and he backstops me while I'm out. He's the man behind the green curtain. He's keeping everything running. He's giving of himself and eager to please everyone he cares about. He's also the best cook I know, and he also gives the best foot rubs. I have a gift for you later. Thank you for everything you do. And for all the spouses out there that are married to a realtor, I commend you for supporting your realtor partner. And anyone who's married to a realtor deserves a huge pat on the back. So realtors, give them some appreciation. All right, I'm sorry, I never promised that this would be short, but we're getting there. All right, let me jump into my strategy. So this year, my theme is a strategic vision for the future. I know that's a pun on 2020. I can see it clearly. I know the Irish believe in luck, but I like to believe in planning. I'm fortunate this year, I get to have the unique opportunity to lead and set the strategic vision for SCORE for the next 3 years. So let me tell you about my 3 priorities for this year. First and foremost, it's to look for and provide new opportunities for our members that will increase value while also saving them money. Through those opportunities, we can strengthen the association and fortify against any industry shifts that may come our way in the next decade. We're evaluating a number of opportunities that could provide huge benefits to our members. So stay tuned for more to come over the year. My second priority, which is near and dear to Steve Hanley's heart, is to redefine our role in public advocacy and public relations. For SCORE to meet our vision of becoming the most credible source for real estate-related issues, we need to build out a solid framework and put the resources in place that will put a hard focus on meeting the expectations of our members and of ourselves with respect to public outreach. What do I mean by that? Well, SCORE has done a phenomenal job at government advocacy and meeting face-to-face with our electeds on negotiating amendments to bills. I want to give a huge shout out to Chrissy and Tim, our government affairs directors, for all the hard work they put in. What I'm referring to here is not government affairs, but instead it's leveraging the hard work that the government affairs has put in to build out a public relations arm that will work in tandem with government affairs, that will put a focus on campaigns that can make a massive impact in the community. This might take some significant resources, but if we are to take the vision seriously, then we need to take a hard, close look at this space and ask ourselves, what can we do? And how can we truly make SCORE to be known as the go-to source for property rights and home ownership issues? This year's strategic planning process will be of utmost importance. We'll set the direction for the next decade. Through more public education and taking a proactive role and control over the messaging, perhaps we can defeat some of this nonsense coming out of our local government and actually vote some of these measures down. My third priority is to leverage my operational and systems background, which Carla told you about, to focus on streamlining and enhancing operations at SCORE, to achieve more efficiency and productivity. With this background of mine, it seems fitting for me to focus on this area. So my goal is to work very closely with our highly respected CEO, Neil Collins, to identify a few areas where we can save the organization some time and money, while also becoming stronger and more productive to the ultimate benefit of our members, the community, and the employees. In conclusion, the ultimate vision for the future is to provide real, measurable value to our members, to become the authority on real estate issues in Santa Clara County, and to set up the organization for success in this new decade. The future is up to us, and I look forward to leading the important work towards fulfilling and focusing on the mission and vision of SCORE. Thank you. Thank you. Now I'm almost done. It wouldn't be an Irish evening without a toast of some great whiskey or wine. Oh, love you. So before you all race out of here and pull an Irish exit on me, there is one more important person that I must pay tribute to, and that person is Steve Hanley. Steve Hanley is another one of those mentors responsible for me being here tonight. He encouraged me to take this presidency role on. He taught me how to speak up. He told me how to get on the mic. It's no surprise there. He pushed me to the microphone at my very first CAR meeting. I was terrified, but he was there to back me up. It didn't matter. What I learned from Steve is that speak your mind, raise issues, and stir it up a little bit. So, if anyone enjoyed those old fashions tonight, who enjoyed those Jamison old fashions? Then you should give your applause to Steve Hanley, because he was the generous sponsor tonight of our reception and all those old fashions. And the deal was, if he would sponsor the old fashions tonight, then I give him a minute on the microphone. So, I know, see, I told you you'd get some groans. What? Oh, we know that a minute's not really a minute, right? I'd like to ask and invite Steve Hanley to give us a final toast to the evening. Thank you, Steve.
You know, it's really dangerous to give me a mic. I know you know. But you know what's really, really pleasant to see is that the half of you that rolled your eyes are still sitting there, and the other half haven't gone to the restroom. That's a first. I've been doing this for a long time, as some of you know, I think 49, 50 years. And there's some things happening that are really a pleasure to see. One of them is called Woman Up. Few people have heard about that, right? It's kind of a big deal going on at the CAR level about advancing women in the real estate business to become brokers, owners, mentors, and so forth. Well, you know, I think we've already arrived. As I kind of go into the gray years of my career, I've felt that the best thing that we can do as leaders, and particularly as former leaders, is to reinvent and replace ourselves. And that means picking out people that are not only going to do what you did, but they're going to do it better. And they're going to do it with passion, with belief that this industry is one of a kind and allows you to achieve successes that you can't ever imagine when you go into college and entering the world. I've experienced that, and because of this industry, I'm just really grateful for having led a really great real estate life. Now, Sandy is going to give us a breakthrough year. Transparency, that's already happening. I think she's going to generate some really box-busting ideas and get us out of that little square thing that we're so used to. And it's right now that we need to do that. And she's got the skill set to get us out of it and to a cutting edge of a new real estate industry. She knows how to do it because she's got the training, which you heard about a little earlier. At any event, we have a little sign hanging in our home. It was a gift to my wife, who Sandy is doing a real good job of aspiring to. And it says to me what this industry is all about, and I'd like to read it to you. It's about strong women. And I know there's a few sitting over there, and there's a few over there, and a few over there, throughout the room. And this is what it says: that she will live her life in such a way that when her feet hit the floor in the morning, Satan shudders and says, "Oh, hell, she's awake." That's what you got as far as a leader, in my judgment, for 2020. So it's really my honor to ask all of you to stand up, hoist up your beverage of choice, and wish Sandy a really breakthrough year, carrying a score towards its mission of providing superior benefits to all of its members, existing and future. So with that, Sandy, truly, best wishes to you and your team in 2020. Lahaim.
Thank you.
Okay, you're on.
I'm going to call up Kevin Cole.
Leave that for the next one.
Thank you, Steve. Two more quick things tonight. I want to ask Jody Souza and Samantha Gutierrez if they could come up here. They have worked so hard on this installation, and I have something for them. Come on up. Thank you, both of you, for doing a remarkable job. And I'd also like to invite Kevin Cole back and thank him for doing a wonderful job tonight emceeing this event. So I'm going to give it back to Kevin. Thank you, everybody.